Caspar's Declassified Ethereality product reviews. Something crazy happened to me last night, while I was listening to my lines over my cell phone as I slept, and so, it began like this. It was Friday the 13th. The night was young. The moon was full. The lights are out in the house. There's no one in the house stirring, except me in a brown study going over my lines like a broken record as I'm situated on a beanbag in my room. Then I awoke with a thought, wondering if it was a dream, second guessing that it couldn't have been. Tired, longing to be well rested, for today was the last day to be on script, and have an audition before that, so I laid my head back down on my beanbag to try to go back to sleep, only to rise up again, with this knowing that I have to find out. Suddenly, when I pulled a blanket off of me, there was a sense of deja vu, and there it was. A third arm. I didn't know whether to be astonished or startled. I said to myself while turning my head to the nightstand, where my cell phone was, as I noticed that my recorded lines weren't playing, and strangely enough the screen was flickering with the Netflix app open. So I put on my thinking cap on and asked myself, could my request have been heard? And debated with myself if the orison I threw up had been granted when I asked for an extra hands to hold my scripts, movie refreshments, smartphone, and other items in a hands-free manner. I would have pinched myself to see if I was dreaming, but how could I have been if I'm feeling the third arm that I've asked for is attached and pinching me? In spite of that, as I observed it, I could see that it was everything that I've asked for, and looks like it would allow me to use both hands while rehearsing my lines, so I can the gestures and movements to scripts, which would increase the odds of me getting booked for gigs. Plus, it ought to challenge me to be bolder in appearances when I wear it in public places tomorrow, as it'll most defiantly build up my courage and bravery. So, I'm looking forward to doing my scene with my scene partner tomorrow. Yet I wonder what they would think when they get a load of the extra hand that I've been given. Hopefully, not a freak, but make them admire me to want one. There, and then I woke up but in my bed with my lines being played repeatedly on my cell phone, and the lights was off, as everything seems normal, like it was a dream. And as I laid there in a motionless silence, I pondered to myself, whoa, what a dream. Or, was it real? It must be. I feel like I have just been there. This could be the pizza I ate yesterday. No, this couldn't have been a dream. I've got to see if this was real. So I did what I knew to do and peeked under the cover to see if there was a third arm, and saw none. But no sooner than I pulled the covers down, I heard what sounded like finger tapping Morse code that was coming from my closet. It's a good thing I studied cryptography and knew Morse code. Otherwise I would have known how to translate it, so I laid my head back down to just listen and translate. But I didn't have to, because an audible still small voice emitted through the door during the finger-tapping Morse code that said,
"Greeting Earthling. I come in peace. The series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in your mind during your sleep that you experienced were one in the same with reality, for I have come that you might have life and have it to the full. Although my time with you has to be brief, for me 1 moment is like 1,000 years where I'm from, as I promise there will be more waiting for you eternally. Lean not unto your own understanding, but trust me. You don't get to know the time. Timing is the Abba's business. What you'll get is a divine friend. And when this divine friend comes on you, you will receive power and be able to be my witness in the city, all over the state and world, even to doomsday. As this divine friend can be whatever you want and be wherever you are. Now go into the world. Go everywhere and announce the message of God's good news to one and all. Train everyone you meet, far and near, in this way of life, marking them by inauguration in the threefold name, Abba, Scion, and Divine Friend. Then instruct them in the practice of all I have called on you. Whoever believes and is recruited is saved. Whoever refuses to believe is anathematized. These are some of the signs that will accompany believers. They will throw out fiend-like bugbears in my name. They will speak in new lingos. They will take snakes in their hands. They will drink poison and not be hurt. They will lay hands on the sick and make them well. And don't lose sleep, but take heart. I'll be with you as you do this, day after day after day, right up to the end of the age.
These were the alien's last words. As I heard the voice with the Morse code emitting behind my closet door fade out and disappear into thin air. After that I laid there, staring up at the empty ceiling and dozed off. The next day, coming out of REM sleep with crusty eyes and groggy, I had the sense that something powerful had come into my room and invaded my closet, but before I could see what, it ascended and was gone. At first dismissed it as a dream. No more pizza before bed. But now, every time I lift up my shirt, I'm convinced something truly strange happened that night. It left a strange electric shock-healed incision scar marking on my stomach, almost as if I had been conjoined with an amputated brachial creature from another world that bears witness to what I've encountered. And that's not all. It left me with its presence, as I can still feel it with me, especially when I go to touch the area. I feel an airy ethereal arm that goes unseen, giving me the extra hand it promised, where I can set specific concession items or other objects, such as a beverage, a bag of popcorn, a cell phone, a box of candy, and my scripts on for it to take on all the holding efforts, as it floats where the arm is in midair. Not to mention, an armload of superpowers and tranquility was exchanged. But I'm not sure if I should let something that's invisible hold my script during rehearsals, or movie concessions at movie theaters. I better keep it to myself and only use it when I have to, but I will tell others what it has done for me in hopes it will make a believer out of them for an encounter of their own. And so, this podcast is sent everywhere teaching, the leaders working right with me, validating the message with indisputable evidence to a postmodern world as I share my story, yet faith that lives on in the heart of what I've experienced once upon a time, when an Moron amputated third arm Martian species named Spectro Akterpuz, who invaded an actor's closest, who hoped for something more that found its powers made perfect in my vulnerability, especially during leisure and study hours after a hookup with it, to become an armload to believers who encountered it, and because of that, free hands was exchanged with tranquility and superpowers out of a desire to equip us for avenging the world from a handful of invasions that are bound to spring up. This is Caspar, signing off. Shalom.
What charges are you bringing against this man?
He's a criminal! Crucify him!
Give them what they want.
Stretch him out. He's dead. Get him down.
Caspar's Declassified Ethereality product reviews.